I'm going to give you some tips on walking the Camino de Santiago Portuguese route from Lisbon. First tip is don't walk from Lisbon. I talked to several pilgrims that made the trip from Lisbon on foot, and they regretted it because the first 3 days at least are just walking in the city or along a marina, and pavement, not as pretty. So my tip is take a bus or a taxi or Bolt from the airport at Lisbon. Take it to the train station, East train station, Estación Oriente. And from there you can catch a train to the town of Tomar. Every 2 hours, the town is Tomar, Tomar. Every 2 hours for $10, you can ride that train up to the town of Tomar and start your Camino there. But I must tell you, this Portuguese way is beautiful, and very few pilgrims on it. But the albergues, hostels, places to stay, they're not as many here. In fact, the first day out of Tomar, you'll need to walk about 25 kilometers probably, and typically 20 or more to find the next place to stay. So get in shape a bit before you arrive over here and enjoy it. This is absolutely beautiful. I've done the French way from the Pyrenees before, and I really like that route. But there are a lot of pilgrims on that, and this is much nicer. I just met a couple of guys on bicycle, and they're loving this route. Also, in the last 4 days, I think I've met less than 10 pilgrims. But there's a nice camaraderie among the 10 of us, and it's very pleasant. Beautiful weather here in May. Another thing that I have noticed is that a lot of people on this route are using the Buen Camino app. And one thing about it that I've noticed is that frequently there's a difference between what the signs are showing and what the app says the route is. But only for like about a kilometer, the signs will probably lead you through the woods, and it's beautiful. And the Buen Camino app is keeping to the road, which is maybe less beautiful, but also very quiet. Boiling up some eggs for tomorrow, hard boiled. But on this route, sometimes you will need to walk further than you would have on the French way. Some of the towns do not have any beds, no hotels, because they're too small. Or there might be one hotel, it might be 50 euros or more. So for example, tomorrow, I will be walking from Rabacal to Coimbra, and I have to go a full 29 kilometers to get to an albergue. Which will have reasonable prices. And sometimes out here you meet pilgrims going the other direction, and they're heading for the city of Fatima, where there's a shrine to the Virgin Mary. It's apparently quite important shrine. I met some yesterday and I said, hey, you're going the wrong way, and they said, no, we're going to Fatima. And speaking of getting off trail, sometimes these routes are not marked very well. I'm coming up on one right here. And yesterday I missed a turn. Like here's one in the weeds. It says go straight. But anyway, yesterday I missed a turn, and a woman came out of her house to help me. She said, hey, you're going the wrong way to go to Santiago. You need to turn around. So that's what I did. Worked out. Sometimes you just see the yellow paint that someone has put on there to create the arrow. And if you had your heart set on saying that you walked all the way from Lisbon, go for it. But otherwise, if you have an extra 3 or 4 days that you were planning to use walking from Lisbon, I recommend adding it on to the end of your trip. From Santiago, you can continue walking to Finisterre at the ocean. Enjoy your time out there, or take a bus out there and just enjoy some time at the ocean at the end of your trip. Buen Camino.